There you go. Right. I'm Martin, as everybody knows, because you're going to see this on Facebook. And I decided, as it's such a lovely day and it's Bank Holiday Monday, and I'm not going to go to the carnival, here I am at Speaker's Corner for the second day in a row. Traditionally, there were many, many speakers here, even on a Bank Holiday Monday. But at the moment, as you can see, I am the only one. I've just started. So at the moment we've got two people in the meeting. It's that gentleman and that gentleman. They're both very intelligent, and I've just been having a chat with our friend here from Brazil. He has agreed to be filmed. Yeah, that's you there. Okay. And what we were just talking about was the fires of Brazil, and I did actually ask the gentleman what he felt of his own leader, and he said, if I'm correct, that you consider it is likely now to potentially be a dictatorship. That's what you said.
Not really.
But I thought it was already a dictatorship.
We are not at the point of a dictatorship. But many of the opposition, we are worried about that there might be the beginning of a new coup, of a new dictatorship, the third one on the bloody fucking country. Yeah. The two main points. Yeah. Bolsonaro, he has a very autocratic, how can I say, regime. Every time someone disagrees with him, he always tries to kick that person out of the government, or he tried to initiate a witch hunt to that person. We lost the president of INPE, or one of the main ways to see how much of the Amazonia was being destroyed, because the director said things that were against the Bolsonaro agenda. So we have that one side, and it is being like, in the last 9 months, Bolsonaro, he has tried time and time again to put more and more military men on the government. Ministers.
Well, this is what they do when they feel insecure about sustaining being in power. That's what they all do, and also they like to taint the opposition. So this is what's going on in every country in the world, more or less. It's if you look at how Jeremy Corbyn has been tainted. Now, I have many Jewish friends that are very vigorously against Jeremy Corbyn, but the reality is, if you really want to maintain your leadership, if you are persuasive enough to put across a perspective that someone is evil and likely to cause chaos through Marxism and what have you, they have done it very well. They have done it extremely well. But this is a kind of marketing. It's an unsavory marketing, isn't it? So what's happening in Brazil is probably identical in terms of psychology, in terms of trying to accomplish maintaining that power. But whatever you think about the politics of Brazil, I just speak as a normal person who normally would speak here in a humorous way. But this is something that really concerns me. All the animal life that is being evaporated. It must be such a horrendous thing for the animals, and I don't think any words can explain how hurt I feel and how embarrassed and humiliated I feel to be part of the human race because of this. We are hearing that the French government has now going to give some kind of assistance. We're hearing 16 million pounds has been offered by Europe, I think. It seems to my mind to be a rather negligible amount, don't you think so? For something that would require billions of pounds to I mean, you're never going to be able to put this right, are you? You're going to, I mean, it takes a long, long time to grow trees. And all of this is for greed because people eat meat. So obviously I'm a vegetarian, so I have a very strong conviction about people becoming vegetarian. The only good thing that I see happening now is that the corporates, the horrible corporate companies, are all recognizing that vegetarian food is massively more in demand than it used to be. A combination, people want to give up meat for health reasons, and also because they have a lot of people do have some real compassion towards animals and understand that they have feelings, they have emotions as well. What's your reaction to what I've said?
That's a nice argument, but it has some problems. The first one is in regards of the money. The European Union countries should not send any money to Brazil. They should stop the Mercosur European Union agreement in order to pressure. Any money sent to the Brazilian government will be used to other things.
Right.
Bolsonaro has an agenda
Yes.
of burning the Amazonia to help agriculture.
Yeah,
This is the second point.
yeah.
The-
For palm oil mainly, isn't
No,
it?
soy. This is
Soya.
Yeah.
Okay.
The biggest reason why there is such a clean, they will say they are cleaning all the area to plant soy.
Right.
Because it is the crop that Brazil most exports.
Right. So then I should be embarrassed as a vegetarian then.
Not really, because
Okay.
as far as I know, most
Yeah.
of the soy is sold to be sell as a how do you say
Yeah.
the bovine ration stock
like
livestock feed.
yeah, like, oh, I see. Yeah, yeah, that's what I've heard. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that's the main thing.
Yeah, yeah.
The most of our soy is sold
Yeah.
in that regard.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
So this is the biggest problem.
Yeah.
And there is the truly only way to pressure the Brazilian government to begin to act in order to save the Amazonia right now is to strike it in the economic sense, to block it on the European Union
Yeah.
agreement with Mercosur,
Yeah,
and to start imposing sanctions,
right.
like especially.
Well, if we were to do that, which is about what was something that we've done with Iran and North Korea,
Yeah.
how would that help? Because, you know, I've always thought that Brazil was fairly self-sufficient. Am I incorrect about that?
Not really. The problem is, when we say the sanction, it will hit the social class that really can influence the government, the most richer people, the kind of the part of the medium class.
Yeah.
If we begin to fuck with them,
Yeah.
if we begin to stop the importation of everything they consider essential,
Do you think that it would be too dangerous to have protests within the country? Because I do understand that there has been a limited amount of protest in Brazil, but I would envisage that it would be met with the kind of similar violence as we have seen in Hong Kong. How would the military, how would the police, how would the government respond to protest in Brazil?
as of right now, there is no action on the army or any of the military branch. Most of our police force is not actively engaging confront, but the Brazilian military and the Brazilian government has an history